In a recent interview with Empire UK magazine, when asked about her long association with Outlander, Caitriona Balfe paused for a few seconds when the reporter mentioned the name Sam. She did not answer immediately. An odd silence lingered in the air just a few seconds, but enough for viewers to sense something deeper. Something that had never been said. Finally, Caitriona gave a small, almost shy smile and nodded slightly. Sam. He is a more important part of me than I can say in words. The sincerity in Caitriona's eyes could not be faked. There was something truly moving in her voice. For an award-winning actress, that reaction could not have been just an act. It was real. It was pent-up emotion, what was left after more than a decade of accompanying someone, not just on screen, but also in their most private moments. Caitriona recalls the early days when she stepped into the role of Claire Fraser. It was also new, the pressure from the media, the expectations from the original fans, and the fear of not being able to do the role. But Sam was always there. Sam was the first person to see me as Claire, not an audition. He made me believe that I could be her without trying to convince anyone else, just him and I, believing in each other. She says there were days that lasted more than 15 hours sometimes in the middle of a cold forest when all she wanted was to go home. But every time she turned around, Sam was there. Eyes steady, hand outstretched, a silent support. I don't know if I could have gotten through it without him. They didn't just act together. They grew up together on the journey of Outlander itself, from 2 new names to global icons. Empire UK's reporter recounted that in a behind-the-scenes scene of a recent shoot, when the director called "cut," Sam looked at Caitriona and whispered barely loud enough for her to hear, "Don't say goodbye just yet." That line was not in the script. And the interesting thing is that Caitriona did not respond with words, simply put her hand on Sam's shoulder and smiled sadly. These were no longer the 2 actors playing Jamie and Claire. These were 2 people who had shared more than 10 years of their lives, ups and downs, doubts, misunderstandings, and silent sacrifices. Was that a farewell or word of holding on? In a world where time is the enemy of all relationships, such a whisper could be the end of a chapter. Fans circulated a rare behind-the-scenes photo from the season 8 finale, when Sam and Caitriona sat next to each other, not acting, not smiling, not posing. Sam looks straight at her, while Caitriona looks down, clutching a small object in her palm, believed to be the bracelet Sam gave her in 2016. One netizen commented, "We don't know what's going on between them, but Sam's eyes and Kate's hands say it all." Caitriona's facial expression in that photo is not acting. It's the kind of expression that only someone who has truly loved, truly lost, or is trying to hold on can unconsciously show. During an online chat with fans, a fan asked Kate, "If one day you and Sam really get together, what will make you choose that time?" She laughed but did not answer right away. Her eyes glanced across the screen as if avoiding some emotion. After a few seconds, she said, "It must be a time when nothing else is holding you back. But that is not now. Not now." The sentence was immediately cut out, spreading across social media as an ambiguous message. Was it not ready, or was it ready but couldn't? Was there something going on behind the scenes that they never shared? Fans began to mention the unspoken promise, something the 2 never admitted, but everyone believed existed. A small detail shared by Caitriona in the interview that shocked the fan community. Whenever something happens, whether happy or sad, the first person I think of to call is Sam. She said it so naturally that it seemed obvious. But to outsiders, it was a statement with many layers of meaning. Because calling someone first when you're sad means you trust them. Calling them first when you're happy means you want them to be a part of your happiness. And Sam was always there. No need to ask why. No need to know the details. He just showed up, or listened, and sometimes just stayed silent together on the phone. A source close to Caitriona recalled that she had a habit of writing notes on her finished scripts. An original manuscript of hers was found at a charity auction with a line at the bottom, "Some moments stay even when people can't." Just below that was a small letter, the letter A, Someone asked her what the S stood for. Kate just smiled and didn't answer, but no one needed an explanation. In an interview that has not been officially aired, Caitriona mentioned that she often writes letters to someone, but never sends them. When asked if that person was Sam, she simply replied, "There are things that if I write them down, I'm afraid they'll change everything. And I'm not sure I'm ready for that." They say that true love isn't always expressed in actions or words. Sometimes it's letters that are never sent, eyes that are never held long enough, touches that both pretend not to notice. Edinburgh, July evening. The wind is calm. Flashbulbs are flashing across the red carpet. Sam Heughan steps out of a black car, smiling professionally at the media. He's there to promote a personal project, a cinematic, independent short film. But the public eye that day goes beyond his new directorial role. The burning question remains: Caitriona Balfe, a reporter, clearly trying to break through the mask of calm, says softly, "Have you read Caitriona's interview a moment? Brief, but it freezes the air." Sam smiles. The smile that has been saved by millions as a wallpaper, an avatar, and a heart-stopping moment. But this time the smile isn't quite there. His eyes sparkle, but not because of the lights. Something is holding him back. Finally he nodded. "I do. And I think it's time to say something. Not for the public. For myself. And for her." The next morning. No announcement, no trailer, no hashtag. Sam posted a 3-minute video to his personal Instagram. No studio lights, no makeup artist, no acting. Just Sam sitting alone on an old wooden bench in the woods in a simple gray sweater. Natural light gently brushed his hair uncombed, as if it had never been combed. Nothing was prepared, except the emotion. "I've kept this inside for so long." Sam began, his voice low and shaky. "Not because I didn't want to say it. It was because I was always afraid. Afraid of hurting her. Or myself." He paused as if choosing his words. "But when I read what Caitriona said, I knew if I didn't say it now, I never would." His eyes were full of pain. Not an actor reciting a script, but a man trying to admit what he thought he shouldn't admit. He leaned back in his wooden chair. A wistful smile crossed his lips. Working with Caitriona for 10 years was an experience beyond words. She wasn't just a co-star. She was the light I followed when I was lost. Sam recalls his first audition, the day it all began. She was late. I remember it clearly. Exactly 10 minutes. I was almost ready to leave. But when she walked in, with her hair all tangled, breathing heavily, that look in her eyes, it just stopped everything. I don't know why, but within the first few minutes I knew I was going to be with this woman for a long time. He describes the feeling of acting with Caitriona as a whirlwind of emotions held together by an invisible thread. Each intimate scene is not just dialogue. It is an emotional memory lit by eyes, hands, and unspoken understanding. My heart was beating fast, not because the camera was rolling. It was because it was her hands. Then he pauses and repeats a line that leaves the viewer speechless. "She taught me how to love safely, love without asking. Just be present. Just listen. Like Jamie loves Claire." I was panicking. The pressure of Outlander fame was unimaginable. But Caitriona, she was the rock. He talked about the endless nights of filming, when the two of them would huddle together in a makeshift prop tent, breathing in unison. They didn't talk about the limelight. They didn't talk about fame. Just stories about their mothers, about their hometowns, about lonely mornings in strange hotels. There were times when we didn't need to speak. She just looked at me, and I knew I was okay. Sam said slowly, "I don't know if it was love or some kind of friendship that went beyond the usual concept, but I knew. I've never had a connection that deep." Then, the words that seemed to ignite a million broken hearts. I had my chance, and I let it go. In the second minute of the video, Sam changed. He raised his face. He looked straight into the lens. His eyes glistened, not with tears, but with old regret suppressed for too long. There was a time I thought we could be something. a real love. But then when I came back, she was engaged, married. He didn't shed a tear, but his voice choked the viewer. I don't blame her. She had the right to choose happiness. I blame myself for being so quiet, for not having the courage to say I loved her. He bowed his head. If I couldn't love her in real life, at least I loved her in every season. Every scene, every unscripted touch. Sam laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. It was the sigh of someone who had a chance and lost it forever. As soon as the video ended, Twitter, Reddit, TikTok exploded like a global emotional explosion. Sam Caitriona. Again, love in silence. Sam confession. Jaime and Claire. Forever became the hottest phrases in the world in 24 hours. One fan wrote, "He didn't need to say, 'I love you,' just told me the story and I burst into tears." Another, "This is the most beautiful love I've ever witnessed." No response. No confirmation. Just keep it in your heart. Caitriona didn't respond to the press. No stories, no comments. But she quietly changed her Instagram profile picture, a black and white photo. Jaime and Claire, standing in the rain hand in hand. Nothing said, but their eyes said it all. Don't go. Don't leave each other. Fans called it the most beautiful reply in the world. No words, but deeper than any language. Can the words left unsaid heal what is lost? Will Sam and Caitriona, like Jaime and Claire, forever exist only in the memories of millions of viewers? Or is there a final chapter yet to be written? No more lights, no more script, no more dialogue, just Sam and Kate. Two people, no longer playing the roles of others. And this time, if time permits, they can choose each other.